Morning. How are you today? Welcome to the Daily Revision Morning Show. That is what I have decided to call my show. So, welcome. When you hop on, let me know who you are and where you're from. If you have never been on any of my broadcasts, my name is Lysandra Everett. And if this is your first time, welcome. I am here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock ish. And yes, I'm here. Hey, Janine, good morning. So what is going on? I realized over the last 2 days that gas here has jumped 20 cents in the last 2 days. And then I found out via Facebook, of all places, because I really don't watch a lot of TV. But I find out via Facebook that there's a gas shortage that's happening in some areas. And so I said, okay, well, that explains the 20 cents jump in gas in 2 days. But I had no idea this whole gas shortage thing was going on. I heard there was a bombing in New York. And so we just got some crazy stuff that's happening in our world. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Not talking about that right now. So, as I stated, I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock ish. And if I would love it if you would share this out, I would greatly appreciate that. So today we are talking about trust. Actually, we're going to talk about this today, and we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. Okay, because tomorrow is Tax Tuesday, and I definitely want to keep that going. So we're going to be talking about trust today, and we're going to be talking about it again on Wednesday. So definitely tune in. But today, we're going to be talking about trust as it relates to business. Okay. And the reason I'm on this topic is my good friend over Shaniqua Burrell over at AskShaniqua.com. She put an interesting post. She asked, how do you handle trust? Do you make people earn your trust, or do you give it automatically? And then, once it's broken, so really, how do you handle trust? And so, me and my little teacher mind, I started thinking, what exactly is trust? So we're going to be talking about exactly what trust really means. I think we all have an idea, but to verbalize it is really becomes more challenging, because the feeling, what it you feel what it means, but you can't necessarily verbalize what it means. So let's get down with the get down. All right. So trust, me, okay, so just in case you don't, I am a science geek, okay? I love science. I like, when it comes down to words, I like etymology. I like knowing where words come from, because knowing where they come from originally really helps you understand what it is that you're talking about. Even though words have morphed over the years, the centuries, understanding where words come from, for me, gives me a better understanding of what I'm talking about. Okay, so trust actually is an Old Norse word, and it means strength. And I had no idea trust was Norse. I mean, wow. That's interesting, right? At least it was for me. And, when you think about the Norse Vikings and all of that, and just so you know, I love the show, The Vikings. So this, of course, was right up my alley. But anyway, but it comes from the Old Norse, and it means strength. So defined by the dictionary, trust means that you believe in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Okay? So that's what the definition of trust is. So when you think about business relationships and even personal relationships, we're going to be talking about personal relationships on Wednesday. But when we're talking about business relationships, you think about the brands that you trust. You buy certain brands because you trust them. We trust Apple, right? We trust FedEx. We don't necessarily trust the Postal Service, right? We trust FedEx. USPS, not so much, okay? You think about the food that you buy. You think about even the brand of detergent that you use. You trust that these products are that you use are going to be safe for you. You think about like when we're signing these agreements, right? Okay, just using Apple as an example, you just click I agree on this terms of service agreement. You don't even know what that thing says. It is 8 miles worth of a mumbo jumbo, and you just say agree, right? Not necessarily really knowing what you're agreeing to, but you agree based on trusting that Apple is going to do what they say they're going to do. Even when you drink a Coca-Cola, you trust that that Coke you drink, regardless of how much caffeine and sugar is in it, is going to it's not going to kill you. At least, not one Coke, 1,000 Coke, sure, but not one. But you trust, so you have some trust in the brands that you use because you purchase them. And so why? What is it that that this success is based off of? Because really the most successful brands have the trust is the public. I'm so sorry, Miss Lisa. We trust our postal dues, but just not the postal service. Can we agree on that? We love your husband, Miss Lisa. Okay. So we trust the brands that we use, but why? Why is it that the brands that are so successful, why are they so successful? Because they have the trust of the public. So let's talk about that. So what does it mean? It's like when you choose to trust someone, you choose to be vulnerable to somebody, right? You choose to be vulnerable to that because you think about it. When you trust a brand that you use, whether it's food, whether it's a product, detergent, whatever, you're really opening yourself up. The brands that you ingest, you're opening up your health, right? You're opening up your health to saying, I'm going to use your product, knowing, trusting that it will not harm me. Okay, so when you are talking about building a successful business, it's all built on relationships, and the relationship is built on trust. Let's take Budweiser as another example, okay? Now, I'm really not a beer drinker, but from what I understand, Budweiser isn't exactly the best tasting beer out there. There are other better tasting beers, okay? But Budweiser has built such a brand, right, that people will consume their product even though it may not be the best tasting, but it's what they stand for. I mean, I have not met a Budweiser commercial that I did not just love. I mean, the one with the horses and Lord the dog, I'm telling you, Budweiser will have you crying in 30 seconds or less, okay? But they have built this brand of trust, even with their theme parks, like Busch Gardens. I hope they're the same people. I hope they're the same people. But whatever. Busch Gardens, for instance, the Anheuser-Busch people. They're, you go there, you go to their parks. And even for military, they allow military families to go for free once a year. So they've built this brand of trust among military people. Okay, so you go to their parks knowing that you're going to have a great time and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and they allow you to come in for free once a year. So, so you think about that when you're building your own brand, because what is it? It's about those relationships, the relationships that you have with people as you build your brand. And here's the deal. So when people start to trust you, they choose to be vulnerable to you. Okay. And what does that mean? And this is one of the things I think we have failed. I'm in the internet marketing industry, and I think where we have failed is that we have taken advantage of people's trust. Not everybody, but the industry as a whole has taken advantage of people's trust, and now it's more difficult for the trustworthy people to build that trust in relationship to their customers. Why? Because so many people have taken advantage and misused the trust of people. Okay? So when you say you trust somebody or something, then you're taking a risk and being vulnerable to them. Okay? Now, we are born to take risks. You think about it. Babies are fearless. They want to go flip off the couch. They want to go climb the tree. They want to go play in traffic because they have not learned. They have not learned the fear part. They have not experienced broken trust. So so little kids, they just going for what they know. They don't know anything different. But when they learn different, when we learn different, when we learn that people we love will hurt us, then we start to tailor our own behaviors. Okay. But again, let's get back to it. So the first thing is three things that we have to do with building trust with our following, with our public. And it's three areas. One is in ability. We have to increase the perception that we are able to do what we say we're going to do. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is benevolence. We have to show people that we care about them in a non self-serving way, that we actually gotta care. Oh my goodness, we really gotta care about folks. Ain't that something? And the third thing is having integrity. All right. So let's talk about it. Now let's talk about the ability. Now, the way that we increase the perception that we can do what we say we can do is by doing it and really sharing that along the way. So what do I mean? You hear the term, you got to give value, you got to give value, you got to give value. I am sick of the word value, to be really honest with you, because I think it's been watered down a lot when it comes down to what it actually means. So when we're talking about increasing the public's perception that you're able to do what you say you're going to do, it's by providing your valuable experiences. Your experiences along the way, your ups, your downs, we call it transparency. It's sharing all of that and being willing to be open about that so that when you do actually accomplish said goal, or you are helping people along the way, you are truly helping them along the way. You're not giving them some, oh yes, if you just stand here and chant like a Buddhist monk for 5 hours, your dreams are magically going to just fall in your lap like they did for me. And no, we're talking about, let's talk about what I call it news you can really use, okay? Because my good friend Tiffany Adams, hey Tiffany said something last year that stuck with me. She was on, we were at a conference and she said, I don't have oil to waste. What does that mean? Okay, when you're talking about, you got to read the biblical story about the oil. Okay, I ain't got time for that because I will be here all day. But the point is that you have to be focused on giving value to people and not wasting not only your time and your energy, but their time and energy. Okay, so really increase your ability to do the things that you say that you're going to do and increase the public's perception that you can do that. And the way that you do that is by sharing your valuable, your knowledge and your experiences. This is how you increase your public's perception that you can do, that you are able to do what you say you're going to do. Okay, the next thing, benevolence. Do you care about me? Now, here we go. This is where we have messed up in the internet marketing industry because we get so big that we act like we don't have time to care about people. So listen, let me tell you something. Money, it does not make you someone different. It magnifies who you are. So if you don't care all of a sudden when you get up here, you didn't care when you were down here at all. So you really have to have someone else's best interest at heart, not your own. Abraham Lincoln said, I wrote this down, this is really good. He said, to ease one's heartache is to forget one's own. You can't be so stuck on yourself that you can't be mindful of someone else. Be bold enough, be brave enough to say, you know what, I really don't think this is for you right now. And I had a good friend of mine tell me that. I asked her about something she was doing. She said, you know what, this is for this type of person. This is not you. And I was humble enough to take that advice, and I'm glad I did. Okay, so you've got to care enough about people to say, I think, in my opinion, this is not for you, or yes, this is for you. Or you know what? If something is really going wrong here, let me see if I can figure it out. And if I don't have time to figure it out, let me find somebody that can help you. Okay, and it's not just this, if you don't get it, you just don't get it. Well, you know what? At that point, you have specifically said to me, you don't care about me. You don't care what happens to me, but yet you want me to follow you. That doesn't work. Okay, so we really have to let people know that we care about them. You can't fake caring. Well, yeah, you can. You can fake caring, but if you really are intent on learning to care, because some people don't know how to care. They really don't. If you are really intent on learning how to care about someone, start asking questions. Ask questions about their lives. Learn what's going on with them. I had a gentleman that popped up in my inbox last night, and I said, hey, what brings you my way? And he said, oh, I came across a post of yours, something. Okay, you just came across a post. All right. So then I asked him where he was from. He said, why do you want to know? Oh, you popped up in my inbox. I said, if you pop up in my inbox, me asking questions about you is an occupational hazard. So if you don't like that, I suggest you leave now. Yeah. Okay, so we really got to care. All right. It's not just put some stuff out there. And I heard Lisa Nichols say this: we are responsible for what leaves our mouths and the way it lands on someone's heart. So it's not just we get to say something and it has no effect. We are responsible for what we say and how it lands. Think about that. All right. The next thing is integrity. Now, I was watching this video, and the way he defined integrity was really, really cool. We hear integrity as, how we carry ourselves, even if nobody is watching, right? But he said integrity is having a set of values and living by those values, and other people agree with your values. That, and I thought, wow. And so this is the example he gave, and it was something that was so creepy, because when it comes to trust, he said that people trusted Hitler because he had a set of standards. He lived by those standards, and people who agreed with him followed him. Think about that. Okay, so then in your life, what standards do you have? What standards do you have for business? What principles do you establish and follow for yourself? And then once you share those principles and you really live that, then people who agree with you are going to follow you. They're going to connect with you and follow you. And in all three of those things, you have the ability to do what you say you're going to do. You care enough about me, and you have a set of principles that I agree with, then we can build some trust in that relationship. So if you are selling me a product that tells me, and you tell me this product is going to make me look 25 in 25 minutes, then if it doesn't do what you says you're going to do, then I can't trust you. But if you are honest with me, and then this is something else too, and especially with internet marketing, right? People just getting into the internet marketing space, they see all of these make $10,000 in 10 days guaranteed. And then you've got another person over here telling them, listen, that's not, is it possible? Yes, but it may not be true for you. See, when someone reaches out and tells the truth, then they don't want to be heard. But you're going to go over here and listen to everybody tell you you're going to make this $10,000 in 10 days. Oh my goodness. And then when it doesn't happen, who are you going to trust? This is what I mean about us in the internet marketing space taking advantage of people's trust. Let's be honest and tell people, listen, yeah, I might have made $10,000 in 10 days, but but there's this whole bunch of work back here that you didn't see. Have y'all seen that meme with the iceberg that has the little bit of iceberg at the top and this big old iceberg thing at the bottom? Because you see all the grand stuff, right? And I want the grand stuff, but you don't see the work behind it. And then we're not honest in saying, you know what? I've been up for 3 days because I've been trying to get this thing to work. I think when we become more transparent and we become honest about what it takes for us to build our businesses and we want people to follow us, that no, we might not have the team of 45,000 people, but I'd rather have the 10 people with me who trust and believe in me because I have been honest with them than 45,000 people falling behind me because I've lied. And we've all done it. We've all done it because this is what our leaders told us to do. That this is how you're going to get people to follow you. And then, and then once you get up there in all of these high and lofty positions, then you don't want to bear any responsibility for the people that may have fallen along the way. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that people are not their own worst enemies. I am not saying that at all. But I am saying that for those of us who have a public platform, we bear some level of responsibility if we are not honest with these people. So that's what trust is about in relationship. Thanks, Sandra. This is what trust is about in building a business and building your brand. So if you want people to have trust in you, be able to do what you say you want to do. Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. I had the most difficult time when I first got started on the internet in 2010. I had the most difficult time because people kept telling me, okay, well now you're the expert in this field. I've been doing this for 2 days. What do you mean I'm an expert? I'm not. And I had a very difficult time with that. And I couldn't wrap my head around it. And now I'm glad I didn't wrap my head around it. I might be an expert by now, but to say that, yes, I am your social media expert. I didn't even know what a Twitter account was. How was that going to be somebody's expert? So, so that for me, I had a difficult time. I really did. So now when you're thinking about your brand, when you're thinking about your business, what kind of principles do you live by? What kind of principles have you established for your business and how you conduct yourself in your business? Are you able to do what you are telling people that you are able to do? Do you care about the people who trust you, who are vulnerable to you and what you say? Do you care about them? Do you care if they fail? Do you care if they succeed? Do you care if you've got a mom struggling with 3 kids and don't know what to do? Do you care if you have a father who has sacrificed his last to come follow you? Do you care? And are you walking in integrity? Are you doing that? Okay. So thanks so much for joining me today. Hey, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining me today. This one was woo, So, so listen, so tomorrow is Tax Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're really going to be talking about trust and different in your really personal relationships, because I think we got to get that together too, y'all. I really do. I think we got to get that together too. Okay, so thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my notifications. I don't even know where that is on this thing. And, share this with someone if you got some value. And if you have any questions, of course, Friday is Q&A Friday. So if you have any questions about anything, shoot me an inbox and I'll cover those questions on Friday. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Mwah, mwah. See y'all next time. Bye.